Good afternoon, class. Please stand for the opening prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the blessings you have given to us and the opportunities we have learned. Please bless us with wisdom and understanding as we learn about your plan for our life today. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, class, please arrange your chairs and pick up some pieces of papers under your chairs. Okay? Please sit down. Thank you. And now, let's check your attendance. Okay. Say present if your name is called. Aguilar Emory, Briones Gerald, Constancia Duwam, Mansalas No, Santos Ace, Alcantara Sophie. And that's okay. Okay. Cruz Sky, Garcia Fiona, Mendoza Natasha, Chu Irene. Okay, very good. No one is absent today. Keep up the good work, class. Before we start our discussion, class, who still remember what our topic last minute? Anyone? Okay, Miss Sophie? Very good. Our topic last meeting is all about the parts of speech. Now, who can give the different types of speech? Okay, Jerome? Very good. The different types of speech are noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Okay, class, let's give a clap to Jerome and Sophie. Before we start my discussion, let's play a game first. This game is called Elements Relay Game. So, on this game, I will divide you into two groups. Column 1 to 4 will be the group 1, and column 5 to 8 will be the group 2. The mechanics of this game is each group will be given the same story. And all you need to do is to identify each element. After you identify the elements, one of the member of each group will go to the front and put the sticky notes on which elements it belongs. So I will be providing you sticky notes as well as this color pen. So blue is for group 1 and this green is for group 2. The first group who finish first correctly will be the winner. Are you ready? Group 1, this is the story and your sticky notes. Group 2, this is also yours. Very good! Group 1 is our winner. Congratulations! Still, good job, Group 2. Keep up the good work, class. Now that we're done with our game, so do you have any idea on what we're topic for today's discussion? Okay, Emory, you have any idea? Very good! 5 elements of short story. Our topic for today is about the 5 elements of a short story. So, there are 5 elements of a short story class. The character, setting, conflict, plot, and theme. So, the first one is the character. So, what is character? Do you have any idea what's character about? Okay, Natasha? Again? Very good. Character is okay. Everyone can you read? Okay, thank you. So, character is the person or animal that portrays in the story. In fact, people use image. So, what is the why do you use image? Okay, very good. Why do you use an image or stands for who, why, where, when, and how. So character is the who of the story. Character is essential to a good story and it is the most significant element. Characters are what makes stories and they are really important to the audience. Right? Diba? So, ang character is very important na, diba? As you can see, o pagbasa ng story, di ba, curious ka, kinsa ang mga characters, di ba? If you can also see your friends reading a story, then, di ba, you ask them, then, who are the characters of the story? Di ba, we're curious, di ba, ang characters, they're really, played an important role in the story. So, ang character, we have four types. Main character, supporting character, dynamic character, and static character. So, we first discuss the main character. So, when we talk main character, from the word main, so they are the central characters and could be either the protagonist or antagonist. So, protagonist. They are the good character and considered as the hero of the story. And it's often opposed, exploited, or victimized. Then, whereas antagonist is the bad character and considered as the villain of the story or someone whose function is to oppose the hero or has qualities opposite of the hero. And it can protagonist causes problems and separates to other characters. So to actually understand our vernacular language, protagonist is bida and antagonist is kontrabida. From the root word anti, it means bad. Diba? When heroes are always depicted as physically pleasant, good-natured, and naturally lovable, villains are described as ugly with a typical evil power or bad qualities. So, di ba, ang heroes is makakita ka or makabasa ng story na kasagaran, di ba, ang heroes or ang bida is guwapa or lovable, di ba, butaan. Whereas, antagonist or ang villain is ato din makita ng mga ugly or evil, yung batasan, di ba? Although, the protagonists are the most important characters, the role of the villain or the antagonist is equally significant. Since without the villain, the heroes will not experience events will help develop their characters. Without the villain, the hero cannot shine. So, protagonist and antagonist both play an important role in the story. Okay, without the hero, without the villain or the antagonist, the hero cannot shine. The summary of the story is Snow White. So I will read this and let you identify who is the protagonist and antagonist of the story. So please listen. Once upon a time, there was a queen who wished her daughter would be skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony. Her wish was granted, and she named her daughter Snow White. However, the queen passed away, and Snow White's father remarried a wicked and vain queen. The new queen had a magic mirror, and every day she would ask it, "Mirror, mirror of the world, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror always replied that Snow White was the fairest. This made the queen jealous, and she plotted to get rid of Snow White. The queen ordered the huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. But the huntsman couldn't bring himself to do it. Instead, he let her go and told her to run away and never returned. The Snow White found herself alone in the forest and stumbled upon a small cottage which belonged to seven dwarfs. The dwarfs welcomed Snow White and allowed her to stay with them. Meanwhile, the queen discovered that Snow White was still alive and decided to take matters into her own hands. She disguised herself as an old woman and used a poisoned apple to try and kill Snow White. Snow White fell into a deep sleep after taking a bite of the poisoned apple. The dwarfs were devastated, but couldn't bear to bury her, so they placed her in a glass coffin. One day, a prince happened to pass by and was captivated by Snow White's beauty. He kissed her, breaking the curse, and Snow White awakened. The Princess Snow White Black Mirror, and they lived happily ever after. As for the wicked queen, well, let's just say she received her just punishment. Okay, so can someone identify who is the protagonist and antagonist of the story? Okay, Fiona, protagonist. Very good. Snow White is the protagonist of this story. And who's the antagonist? Okay, Joanne, yes. Very good. The wicked queen or ang stepmother of Shani, Snow White. Siya ang antagonist sa story. So, do you understand class? Okay, very good. So, the next type of character is the supporting character. What is supporting character? Characters are people who serve as a backdrop to the main character's story. They are usually the allies or sidekick of the protagonist who provide support. They create a particular interest, provide comic relief, or enhance the main characters. So, supporting characters, bali sila ang allies or sidekick sa bida. Supporting characters archetypes are confidant, mentors, sidekicks, love interest, and fool. Take note of this class. Again, confidant, mentors, sidekicks, love interest, and fool. So, when I say confidant, they are the closest person to the protagonist. They are the characters that the hero confides in, sharing their inner thoughts and feelings. So, bali ang confidant, sila ang pinakasuod sa bida. Which is, bida is at kung magugan sa iyang mga problems, can share their thoughts and feelings, and that. Then mentors are wise and experienced characters who guide the hero, offering wisdom, training, and helping them on their journey. So mentors, they're the one who teach the main character or to undergo training like that. So sidekicks are loyal companions who accompany the hero on their adventures, providing comic relief, backup advice, and offering a different perspective on the hero's choices and actions. Love interests are characters who are romantically involved with the hero, serving as a source of motivation, conflict, and personal growth. So, bali ang love interest is ang love team nasa bida. Then, lastly is fool. It's a character who offers humor and light-heartedness, often serving as a contrast to the hero's seriousness or moral compass. So, multi-supporting characters archetypes. So, examples of supporting characters are based sa nibasa na story ganina na Snow White. So, kinsa may supporting characters ito? Okay, Jero? Okay, the seven dwarfs. Very good. So, the seven dwarfs are isa po to sila sa supporting characters sa story. Then, another supporting characters po sa Snow White is katong prince. Model love interest ni Snow White. So, nasabtan na ba ang supporting characters? Okay. So, the third type of characters is the dynamic characters. And when we talk about dynamic characters, it is a character who changes significantly throughout the story. So, kanang isang character na dili consistent, like sa una kay
buutan hangtod. Throughout the plot of the story is nausab ang iyahang character, nausab iyang attitude, nana. So, mo na dynamic character. Transform from being good to bad or bad to good. Dili consistent ang iyahang personality or character because their character evolved over time throughout the plot of this story. So, the best example for this is, are you familiar with Maleficent movie? Or have you read the story of Maleficent? So, okay, so nakakita na din mo. So ang Maleficent is the example of dynamic character because di ba sa salida si Maleficent is bold lang siya kinauhan, right? Like kanang then so sila ni King Stefan. Then because King Stefan betrayed her, mo to revenge, then yang first si Princess Aurora. Di ba? So mo to siya na dautan kay Warren nalimaw siya. So, from good to bad. So, yung character is not consistent. Di ba mo na ang example sa dynamic character? Because that undergo a character development, an experience of transformation and changes her perspective. So that is dynamic character. That the character does not does change over time throughout the plot of the story. Accepted na ba? Then the last one is the static character. So, if ang dynamic character is not changes throughout the story, so ang static character po is opposite po sa dynamic. Ang static character is the character who does not change. Static character are those who do not change over time. The personalities do not evolve. They consistently show the same qualities from the beginning of the story until the end. So, lahi po sila. Opposite ang static o dynamic. Kaya ang static is, kung sa ang attitude na ipakita sa pinaunahan sa story is maog yapon hangtod mahuman. Like, kung unan ka sa una, kung mahuman na lang sa story is maog yapon ang imong quality na ipakita. Nasabtan na ba? So, if kontrabida ka pinaunahan, matapos lang, mahuman ang story na kontrabida yapon ka. There is no changes. Mauna ang static character. Remember, a static character can have many dimensions, but change is not one of them. So, mao ang 4 types of character. So, nasabtan na ba ang character o ang 4 types of characters before we proceed to the next element? Okay, very good. So, the next element of a short story is setting. So, what is setting? Setting is when and where a story happens. So, every story occurs in a geographical location during a certain period. So, mo na siya setting. Again, a setting generally describes the time and place where the story takes place. In a single story, there could be one or more setting. So, other than yung dumana setting is ang lugar o ganun saan nahitabo ang story o asa nahitabo ang story. Mao na siya setting. So, example sa setting under place. A church, at the market, under the bridge, near the market, in the forest, by the beach, in the hospital, in the school. So, more examples of setting under place. And examples of setting under type are last January, by winter, last New Year, during summer, on Christmas Day, on his birthday, and many more. So, nasabtan na ba ang setting? So, I have here a line from the story magic tree. So I will read this and you will identify which are setting of this line. So I will read the line of the magic tree story. A long time ago, a little boy was walking through a park. So, asa ang setting adto? So, kinsay makatubag? So, Irene? Okay, very good part. So, sa part, di ba, like, talk about place. Then, nakaisa. Jero? Okay, sa man? Okay, very good. Long time ago. Long time ago, ang part, mauli ang setting ani nga line. Kay, di ba, ang little boy was walking through a park. Kanus nita mo, long time ago. So, mao to'y setting sa kinina line. So, nasabdan na ba ang setting? Okay, very good. Then, the third element is conflict. So, unsa man ang conflict?
So, conflict is a problem which the main characters
Need to solve. A conflict is the main challenge to the characters. So, another very essential element of the story is ang conflict. So, mga problem or mga challenges na na-encounter sa characters sa story. Mauna bitawag ko conflict. So, conflict is categorized into two, the internal and the external. So, internal conflict, when we say internal conflict, it is the struggle occurring within the character's mind. Internal conflict are the character's problem caused by his own limitations and weaknesses. Like, itong problems na nararamdaman mo, you're inside the problem or imong kaugalingon ng imong problema. Wa ka na problema sa uban ba imong na problema ka because of your own weaknesses and limitations. Mao na siya internal conflict. An example of internal conflict is man versus himself. So, man versus himself is a person struggling because of himself. Like, ang person nag-struggle because of that, iyang kaugalingon. Ang iyang problema, iyang kaugalingon. For example, Andrew tends to forgive himself from his own past mistakes. Si Andrew, dili niya mapasayin yung kaugalingon tungod sa iyahang mga save sa una. Like that, kanang na problema siya sa iya kong binuhatan lang iya kaugalingon ang iya kong kalaban mo yung kontra mo ng man versus himself iya kong kaugalingon niya ng problema. So that is for internal conflict, man versus himself.
So everyone, can you please settle down? And now, since we are done with the internal conflict, let's now proceed to the next type of conflict, which is external conflict. So, what comes in your mind when you say external? Can anyone answer? Do you have any idea? Yes, that's right. External conflict is a problem that is not happening within yourself. So, external conflict, it is a type of conflict that occurs when a character faces challenges or opposition from outside sources such as another person, in nature, or in a society. So from the word itself, external, so it is a conflict or struggle that comes from outside the character. So it's when the character has to deal with challenges or obstacles that are caused by someone or something else, not from within themselves. So, external conflict, it is a conflict that occurs not in yourself, but within other characters, in nature, and in society. So, there are three main types of external conflict, which are the man versus man, the man versus nature, and the man versus society. But let's first tackle what is man versus man conflict. So do you have any idea what is man versus man is? Yes, very good. It's about a character versus a character conflict. So when we say man versus man, is when a character in a story has a problem or struggle with another character. So it's when people have a problem with each other, like fighting or arguing. So so in a story, the conflict between the antagonist and the protagonist are the main characters in that story. So have you ever read the story of Cinderella? Yes, it is very interesting story and it's worth it to read. So the man versus man conflict in that story is between Cinderella and her stepmother and her stepsisters who mistreat her and making her life difficult, creating tension and conflict between them. So, and also by preventing Cinderella from attending the royal court. So this conflict drives the story as Cinderella seeks to have or to overcome their cruelty behind happiness. So let's now proceed to the man versus nature conflict. So in the man versus man, the conflict is between a character and the other characters in the story. But in man versus nature, the character's enemy is not another person, but instead a natural word. So, do you get my point? So, man versus nature, it is a struggle or conflict between people in the natural world. So, it happens when a character faces challenges from things like weather, animals, or in the natural world, or even the environmental itself. So it's like fighting between humans and the world around them. So in Cinderella's story, when she is transformed by her fairy godmother, the clock striking midnight, it signals that the magic has to end. And Cinderella races against time to return home before her carriage turns back into a pumpkin. Di ba ang sasakyan ni Cinderella patungo dito sa Royal Palace is Kalasa, and that is came from a pumpkin. And this conflict adds tension and suspense to the story as Cinderella struggles against the forces of nature. So that is man versus nature. And lastly, let's talk about the man versus society. So in the man versus man is a character versus a character, and in man versus nature is a conflict between a character and nature. So what is man versus society? Okay, man versus society. It is a conflict between a character and the rules, the norms, the beliefs, or the expectations of a group or a community. So it happens when someone goes against what most people in the society believe or do. So the character is mo against siya sa balaod sa in society o sa mga rules na dapat sundot o dili. An example of this conflict is the story of Romeo and Juliet, when the young lovers defy the long-standing feud between their families, the Montagues and the Capulets, to be together. So their families are Tugirana, rival or magka-away. So their society expect them to remain loyal to their respective families and not associate with their rivals. But challenge this expectation by pursuing their love despite the consequences. And that leads them to their tragic deaths. So pagkamatay nila, dito pa nagkauli ang two families. Sa pagkamatay ni Romeo and Juliet. So that is an example of what a man versus society conflict is. So we all know that conflict is important in the story. Why? Why is it conflict is important in the story? Because it creates tension, excitement, and keeps readers interested. It's like a problem or challenge that the characters have to overcome, and it makes the story more exciting because the readers want to know what will happen next and how the characters will solve their problem. So without conflict in the story, in the film, in the show, or in the novel, it may seem a bit boring, di ba? Kung may conflict, may napianggaman sa story. So it will be boring. So that's why conflict is really important in the story. So now let's proceed to the another elements of the story, which is plot. So what is plot? So plot. So what is plot? So plot is the list and sequence of events in the story, or it is the way how story is presented. So it happens from the beginning to the end. So when we say sequence, mana siya ang pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga pangyayari sa kwento. So that is plot. So just like following directions in the map, the plot guides the readers through what happens in the story, including the main events, the conflicts, and how everything is resolved. So it is what keeps the story moving forward and keeps the readers interested in finding out what happens next. So there are 5 parts of plots, which are the exposition, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the resolutions. So what is exposition? So exposition is the beginning part of the story. It's where the author introduces the characters, the settings, and the basic information that you need to understand what's going on in the story. So it's like setting the stage for the rest of the story. So just like when you start reading the story. So the expositions gives you the background information you need to follow along with the rest of the story. Diba? When you read the story, kung dito ba tao, dito ba ang thrilling part, hindi diba? So, in reading a story or in writing a story, the author needs, the author first thing to do is to introduce the characters, where is the setting, and the conflict in the story. So that is exposition. So now, when there is an exposition, it will come up and leads to rising action. So when we say rising action, it is like the build-up of excitement in a story. It is where the tension and intensity increase as the main character face challenges and obstacles. So ano na magkasunod-sunod ang mga problema sa story. So it builds suspense and makes you wonder what's going to happen next. So in a story, the rising action leads up to the climax, which is the most intense moment or turning point in the story. So, as you can see here in the diagram, the climax is on the top. It becomes In a story, it is the most interesting, most exciting, most thrilling part in the story. So, climax, it is the most interesting and great thinking point of the story where the tension reaches its highest point. So, in climax, the main characters face their biggest challenge or make a crucial decision that determines the outcome of the story. So it's the moment when readers are most engaged and eager to see what happens next. So on climax, for you to understand it and simply put, climax it is the thrilling part of the story. So, when you read a story or when you watch a movie, di ba? Kung training yung gani ang part sa story, ang tawag na is climax. Mo na uh, hinumduman. Okay? So, since we're done with the climax, let's talk about the following action. So, what is following action? So, following action, it is like the winding down after the most exciting part of the story. So, kung ang climax is ang thrilling part or exciting na narinig ko na, very thrilling na kind of story, ang following action is where ani kita is where kalmado na ang story. Kalmado, where medyo kalmado na mga tauhan na mapakita po sa story. So in a story, following action, it's where things start to settle down or resolve. So ano na hinay-hinay o resolve ang mga problema sa story or sa mga characters within the story. So in a story, the following action follows the climax and shows the aftermath of what happened, and leading towards the resolution of the story. So, unsa man ang resolution? What comes in the word when say resolution? Huh? Happy New Year? No. Resolution is the ending part in the story. A story where everything gets sorted out and explained, or your problem is completely resolved. It's like tying up all the loose ends and bringing closure to the plot. So, ano yung resolution? When we say resolution, ang mga characters in the story is where ang tanang problema is the result na nagka-ulian ang mga two opposing characters, something like that. So, to you to understand resolution, it is where you find out what happens to the characters after all the excitement and drama of the story. So, what go ang resolution? Remember that resolution is that ending part of the story. So now let's move on to the last elements of a short story, which is theme. So, do you have any idea what is theme? Yes, very good. So theme is what a story all about, or it is the central idea or a message that the story is trying to convey. So it's the underlying meaning or the moral lesson that the author wants readers to take away from that story. So themes can be about love, friendship, courage, or any other universal concept that resonates with people. So the theme helps us to see the world in a new way and think about what the story teaches us. So nasabtan na ang theme. So again, ang theme, muna siya ang tema sa story. It is, di ba, if you're reading a story, have you ever read the story of the Ant and the Grasshopper? Di ba, the moral lesson of the story is to not to be lazy. That every story has a moral lesson. Again, theme is a central message or the moral lesson in that story. So that's all about the 5 elements of a short story. So again, what are the 5 elements of a short story? Very good. It is the character, the setting, the conflict, the plot, and the theme. So, do you have any questions or clarifications before proceeding our activity? None. So I guess you understand what is the 5 elements of a short story. So are you ready in your activity? So in this activity, you will have the opportunity to test your knowledge through a quiz that assesses your understanding of the 5 elements of a story. So following the quiz, you will engage in a creative writing task where you will apply what you've learned by crafting your own story that incorporates the 5 elements of the story, where it contains the character, the setting, conflict, the plot, and the theme. So, am I clear? So, everyone kindly get one sheet of paper. So, I will be providing handouts. So, before you start answering, please read the instructions carefully. So in this one, we have multiple choice that consists of 10 items. So the direction here is, please read each question carefully and encircle the letter of the correct answer. So in task 2, it's a story creation. So you have to compose or to create your own story narrative. Okay? Okay, I will be giving you 20 minutes to answer your activity. Please observe silence when answering. Okay, as this everyone is done, so kindly pass your papers in front. So let's call it a day. Thank you and goodbye, everyone. See you tomorrow.